In this video, we're gonna go over the differences between 8, 10, 12, and 15% body fat, and how's life in these different body fat levels, and what's the differences, what are the differences. Okay, so if you're excited about that, let's get started. Hey everyone, this is Sharo. I'm a fat loss fitness expert and I coach people to get lean and be happy and be confident, and that's what I do for a living. So what's the difference and how's life at 8, 10, 12, 15% body fat? So the easiest was to hit 15% a few years back, okay? And since then I've gone down to 12 and 10 and 8%. So I've lived all these different experiences. So I'll share which one is the best for you. That's up to you to decide, okay? So I'll just explain and you'll decide which body fat percentage is best for you. And choosing your body fat percentage is the most important thing. You have to choose your weight, you have to choose your desired body fat percentage, because if you don't know where you're going, how are you even gonna get there? So not knowing your exact weight, not knowing your exact body fat percentage is like going to just hopping in the car and just driving without having in your mind a place to go, or without putting in the GPS your exact location. The exact location you want to go, the GPS can't really help. So if you think about it, a GPS is absolutely worthless unless you put the exact location. And when we're talking about number, street, city, everything, and then the GPS can help you immensely. But you can't, the GPS can't really help you if you don't tell it exactly what you want. And it's the same thing with fitness. So you should know exactly your body fat percentage and you should know your exact weight that you want to go. Otherwise, all of this is pointless. That's the number one mistake people make when they try to get lean. They just think about being lean. Well, what does that mean exactly? Okay, so let's talk about difficulty. Okay, and all these things that we're going to discuss here will immensely help you to make this decision. Okay, so let's go over them. First thing is difficulty. How easy or hard is it to go to 10, 12, 10 or 8% body fat? Okay, so in a scale from 1 to 10, 10 is the absolute most difficult and 1 is the absolute easiest. Getting to 15% is around 5 at the scale of difficulty. Okay, so it's pretty easy. It's the goal that most people hit first, obviously, because you just have to go down. You can just skip through one body fat percentage level. So a lot of people hit 15%. Okay, so it's the easiest. Now, if it's 5 or 4 or 6 is it depends on the person, honestly, but for me personally, it's around 5. I can like maintain 15% without even trying. Okay, so 15%, you hit that just by stop fooling around, stop bullshitting, and just owning up to your mistakes and just doing the work, and you'll hit 15%. Okay, it's pretty easy. Now, 12%, that gets a little bit harder, but not a lot harder. You have to be a little bit more diligent. So I'm rating 12% at 6.5 at the difficulty scale. Okay, now let's go to 10%. Now it's getting harder, okay? Now you actually have to track, have to weight yourself often, and have to really think about your meals and your day and how you're gonna fit your calories and when you're gonna get your protein and this and that. It's a bit harder, okay? So at that point, it really becomes a lifestyle of maintaining this body fat percentage. And so at 10%, that's 8 out of 10 difficult. And it's not like you can't really get there, but the effort you put in, it's something to be reckoned with, and you have to think about it twice. So, when people hit 12% and they tell me, sometimes, you know, when I coach people, it's their first time leaning down, and so they get so excited, they hit 15 easy, they hit 12 easy, and then it's like 10, right? And I tell them, are you sure you want to do this? It's not mandatory, you look great, you're healthy, why go down? Oh, I really want it. Okay, sure. And then every day they message me about like how they're hungry, blah, 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 and they start bitching and moaning. And I tell them each and every time, it's not mandatory. So 8 out of 10, if you can't do it, don't do it. But if you can, go ahead, okay? But you have to be aware, okay? It's gonna be hard and there's no way around it. It's hard, and that's why not everybody's 10%, and not even me. I'm year round 10%, I'm like for a couple of months or 3 months per year, not every single day being 10%. And now what I said about 10% is like doubled at 8%. So everything I said about 10%, now it's even more at 8%. Okay, so 8%, now it's getting real tough. Now you have to be real diligent. Now you have to be really careful with your tracking. There is no such thing as it doesn't count. There is no such thing as I messed up. Well, you have to find a way to fix the problems that occur. Let's say in calories, if you eat 2,000 calories in a cheat meal, there is no such thing as it doesn't count. It will count. It'll make you 9 or 10%. You have to be very, very, very careful, very, very, very diligent. Even if you go up, you have to fix it the next days, okay? So 8% is the most difficult. I give it a 10 out of 10, and it's something that me personally I cannot stick to year round. I can, if I want to, stick to 10%, but 8% it's very hard for me. I'll do it for a photo shoot, I'll do it maybe for some vacation, I want to look good, I want to feel good, and I'll do it. But I don't do it often, and it's a real mental problem. You start thinking about food all the time, you start watching food porn, you become grumpy, you become you're menstruating or something. It's not fun, okay? So it's the most challenging, 10 out of 10, okay? So the easiest obviously is 15%, the hardest is 8%, and you just pick and choose what you want to do right now. And don't just think about hitting a goal, think about maintaining it as well, okay? So that's out of the way. Let's go to the next one, which is how do you actually look with your clothes on? So you're wearing clothes, how do you actually look with your clothes on? So the winner at this category of looking good with your clothes on is 12%, okay? 12% is the absolute best and really makes you look good when you're wearing clothes, okay? So that's another reason I chose to stay year round 12%, and that's because I look like I work out, I look like I lift, even when I'm not in a gym, even when I'm not shirtless, I just look like I lift. Look at me now, you know, just walk around like this, and people, you know, figure out that I'm working out, and I look big, I look lean, and I'm just happy with the way I look, right? So that's 12%. The best you can look with your clothes on is around 12%, okay? The second best is 15%. So I'll give a 10 out of 10 at the looking good with your clothes on 12%. I'll give a 9 out of 10 for 15%. So if you are at 15%, you still look good, okay? You look kind of chubby. So some people like that, some people don't like that. It depends on you. So you look like a bear, you look like you're built like a tank, okay? And your measurements go up, you fit in your clothes, you stretch your t-shirts, and you just feel big. Okay, now the kind of disadvantage and the reason I don't really like it is that you accumulate a little bit of fat around the stomach, and it actually you can actually tell even with clothes on that there is some fat around that. But me, I'm a fitness coach. Like that's what I do for a living. If I didn't do that, maybe I'd stick around 15%. It's just so much easier to maintain, and you look pretty good with your clothes on. And most people enjoy this look. And you know, it's just you're just bigger than other people. Now 10%, I'll give it a 9 out of 10, and the reason being is that it's up to personal preference, okay? 10% with clothes on, you look pretty good, you look athletic, you look like you lift, definitely, but you have to be a little bit more diligent with your choices, with your clothing choices. If it's winter, it's kind of hard to look good, but you really do look good. And if people really notice, you really look good. Even if you wear like cozy outfits and you wear hoodies, but you still, a trained eye can still tell, right? So that's 10%, 10-15%, it's kind of the same. In 10% you look a little bit more athletic, and 15% you look a little bit more like a bear with your clothes on, okay? Now, let's go to 8%. I'll give 8% and 7 out of 10 of looking good with your clothes on. And that the reason is that it's actually kind of hard to look good with your clothes on at 8% because you're really getting small. Your head looks kind of big and you kind of look skinny with your clothes on. You can't really wear very tight t-shirts because then they just look kind of weird, and just normal t-shirts, when you wear them, they're kind of baggy, and you have to wear like small or medium at best t-shirts. And yeah, and you actually are smaller than most people, and it's weird. Like, you work out, you do this for a living, it's a lifestyle for you, and there's this other dude that doesn't really do any of that, but it's still kind of bigger than you and out angles you when you sit side by side, but he does nothing and you do everything, right? It's kind of weird. That's why I don't really prefer 8% as well, because most of your day you'll be with your clothes on, right? So you can choose and pick between 10, 12, 15%, which is best for you. Now, let's go on to the next category, which is posing. So, in which body fat percentage you actually look best when you're posing. When I'm talking about posing, I mean you go to the gym and then you work out, you get a nice pump, and then you take your shirt off and you go in some place that has a nice down lighting and you start posing, taking pictures and stuff, right? And it's a good day, because it depends if it's a good day or a bad day. You look pumped or flat no matter what you do. So which one is the winner at posing? Well, that's 8%. Okay, so at 8% you really have no fat, you have 3D abs, and when you're pumped, your vascularity is out of this world, and you just look like a fake natty. You can be pretty small, you can be like 150s, 160s, but if you're at 8% and you work out for a couple of years, everybody in the gym will start talking about you and gossiping you and saying you're taking stuff and blah blah blah, and all you did is like just lean down. So if you like this lifestyle, if you're like enjoy posting on Instagram, if your life is all about fitness, maybe you want to be at 8%. Now the next one, 10%. I'll give 10% and 9 out of 10. So you still look pretty amazing, you still look better than everybody at your gym, and people will still complain about you and gossip you and say that you're on stuff, but you have to give it a little bit extra effort to look the part, let's say, as like the fitness guy model with your abs and stuff. Just a little bit more effort than the 8%. 8% every day of the week, you just walk into the gym, you just take off your shirt, start taking pictures, and they're amazing. 10%, like 5 out of 7 days, you look amazing. Let's go over to 12%, that's 8. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. At 12%, so me, right now, if I like take my shirt off, it's not like I'm fat, it's not like I have a gut hanging out. If I try and pinch the fat, it's not a lot, it's not too much, but the issue is that like I have to like pick and choose my photos, I have to pick and choose my lighting, I have to pick and choose like the day I take the photos, you know. It needs a little bit more preparation and a little bit more mirrors and lights, smokes and mirrors, smokes and mirrors to look amazing. Okay, so yeah, it just needs a little bit more effort, and it's not like I can just take my shirt off and just look amazing every day of the week. But like, let's say I want to take a photo, let's say I have a photo shoot in 2 weeks. In these 2 weeks, I can go to 10% and then do the photo shoot, and it'll be much easier. And that's why I hang around 12% and not 15, because at 15 I'll have 5 body fat digits to go down, but at 12 it's only 2 body fat digits. So I'll give an 8 out of 10 for 12%. Let's go to 15%. Well, 15%, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's honestly the worst to take photos and posing and stuff with your shirt off, right? And like you have to like do some weird posing and weird tricks to make the fat actually go in a straight line and not like have your love handles show. Okay, so it's the hardest, and like even if even if it's your best day and you're really pumped and you have the best lighting and blah blah blah, you can't still really look as good as someone that's at 8% any day of the week. That's the truth, okay? So at posing, of course, being at 15% is the worst. Okay, but it depends, right? So you might be thinking, oh, let's go down to 8%. I would encourage you to think twice, because let's say you don't really post on social media your body shirtless. Maybe you're not really into bodybuilding hard, or your friends aren't, right? So if like once a year you take your shirt off at the gym, and every day of the year you just wear clothes, so it doesn't make sense to optimize your body and your life around this one time. It makes sense to optimize your body and your life and your lifestyle and everything around when 99% of your time, which is being with your clothes on. So for many cases, being at 15% is absolutely amazing. And I used to be at 15% and it was absolutely amazing. So let's go over to the next one, which is posing. No, we said that, clothes off. So clothes off means that you just take your clothes off, let's say at the beach, or you're at home and it's very hot and you take your clothes off, or at a party or anything. So you're not posing, you're not really trying, and you just take your shirt off, right? Which is the best? So at first place I have 8 and 10%. So they get a 9 out of 10. I don't give 10 out of 10 because 10 out of 10 is like posing. When you're posing, you're kind of trying. If you're not trying, you can't really hit 10 out of 10. So that's my logic behind that. So 8% and 10% are at 9 out of 10. Now, the difference between 8 and 10% is personal preference. So if you like the more cut and small instead of the a little bit heavy, a little bit fuller and less cuts, that's up to people, right? That's why I didn't give 10. I didn't make it different. I gave them the same spot. Okay, so 9 out of 10 to both of them. The difference is aesthetically. One is smaller and have more cuts. The other one has less cuts and is a little bit fuller. So if you just take your shirt off at a party, at the beach, right? Both look amazing, 8% and 10%. And there is this minor differences in the way you look, which is aesthetic, which is based on opinion. And that's why I leave it up to you to decide which one is the best. Okay, now 12%. I'll give that an 8 out of 10. Now granted, guys, even at 7 out of 10, you still look better than 99% of the people. But I give it at 12%, I give it an 8 out of 10, just because you're just not really cut all the time. And like, let's say I go to the beach and I take my shirt off, maybe you take some photos of me, and when I'm not really looking or flexing, and I don't have like these deep cuts, or even, but I have just a flat stomach, right? I don't really have huge love handles, just a little bit. You know, it's not really something crazy. So, but of course, 8%, 12%, you look better. That's why I give it an 8 out of 10. And the worst is 15%, which is not really the worst. As I said, you will still look better than 99% of people, but you still have a little bit of fat, a little bit of love handles. You will not be this lean guy with a full-on six-pack, especially when you just take your shirt off and you then don't really plan like lighting, pumping and angles and stuff. Just take your shirt off. Between these four, of course, it's fourth, right? So let's go to the next one, which is an interesting one, which is respect from guys. So respect and attention from guys. Which of these different body fat percentages will give you the utmost respect and attention from your guy friends? So 8% and 10% are on the first place as well, and they get a 10 out of 10 as well. Just because, like, if you're 8% or 10%, like, people will go crazy about you. Everybody will start gossiping you, asking you what you did, how you did it, if you took drugs, and like among your friends, it will be like an endless discussion of like, let's say George, is George on stuff? Is he not? What is he doing? Blah blah blah. Some people ask you for advice, others give you shit for it. You get a ton of attention and a ton of respect just by being at 8 or 10%. Now, If you're at 12%, people will still, guys will still like you, but you won't be a topic of discussion of whether you're taking stuff or not. Okay, I remember when I'm 8 or 10% and I go to the gym goes crazy. Just random people just show up to me and tell me, oh, are you taking stuff? What are you taking? Why do you lie to us? I'm like, Jesus, like, piss off, I don't want to talk to you. But that's what having an 8-10% body will do to you. You'll have vascularity, you'll have feathers, you'll have like all the muscle separation, every muscle fiber will show, and especially when you're pumped, it's ridiculous. If you like kind of crave for that attention, it's awesome. I did it for a couple of years, I stayed at 10%, and then it was just too freaking annoying to have to explain myself every single time or have to deal with all this bullshit and nonsense. At some point it just gets old, and then you just show up with your hoodie in the gym to work out so nobody freaking talks to you. Now, as I said, if you're 12%, you still get a lot of respect, a lot of attention, but listen, when you go drop single digits body fat, everybody starts talking about you taking PEDs. If you're at 12%, everybody's like, oh, he's nutty, he's doing it for life, he's amazing, we want to be like him. Okay, so if like people are here and you're here, people want to be like you. If you're here and if your friends are here and you're here, people some people will hate on you. Okay, so that's something I've noticed. Now, 15%. You still get a lot of respect from a lot of guys, especially the guys that like are into like lifting weights and chasing the numbers. You're relatively strong at 15%. You're relatively big, so you also get a special kind of. You still get attention, not as much, but from different type of guys. Guys that value being big more than being cut. Okay, so yeah, you still get attention, but it's the least amount of attention among the other ones. I give it actually a 7 out of 10, just because you don't really get a ton of attention, but you still do. Okay, so let's go to the last one, which is girls. Okay, how do girls respond to different body fat levels? So the winner for this one, for me, is 12%. Okay, and that's why I'm at 12%, and I'll explain why. It might sound weird to you, but for me the best body fat percentage level for having relationships, being with girls, hanging out around girls, is 12%, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so the reason behind this is that I'm actually kind of big. I actually look pretty good with my clothes on. So a girl can look at me and feel and understand that I'm probably lifting pretty seriously. And I don't really have to take my shirt off to show off my gains. Okay, so I used to be at 8%, and girls would not notice I was 8%. So that was kind of annoying. Now, the second one is reasonable expectations. Listen, if I used to like upload to my personal accounts photos of me being at 8%, girls would hit me up, girls would come over to my place, they'd see me face to face, and I would see them and I would be pretty small, okay? And the main reason they came to me was because of my cuts and veins and my body, okay? So I didn't really like it. I felt like I was getting like being objectified. I don't know if that's a word. I mean, it's they want me for my body, not for me. Okay, and my body is not really my body. It's like the body you have on Instagram and on social media, and the body you have in reality. They're two different things. But because you're posting it on social media, girls get attracted to that. But you're different. You're not that. So it's weird. It's like a discrepancy there. And so the best one. Like, let's say I take a photo, I post a photo of me at the beach, or of me like at a party or something, and I don't wear my shirt, right? I still have my six-pack. It's not like amazingly defined, but it's still there. And if a girl likes it and sees it, she can appreciate it. And then if she comes over, it's like I look big with my clothes on, and I look pretty good with my clothes off. So, and also another reason I gave 10 at 12%, and everything else is lower than 12%, is because girls get pretty weird when you look much better than them. Okay, when I used to be at 8%, a lot of girls didn't stop like flirting with me, stop talking to me, because in their heads I was so much better, and why would I go with them, right? So 12%, it's kind of relatable, it's pretty good, you are pretty bigger than the girl. And another reason I give 12%, 10 out of 10 for girls is that me personally, I like the girl to be smaller than me, or equal size, or a little bit smaller, or a lot smaller. I'm fine with the girl being smaller. I get turned off if the girl is bigger, okay? It's not like I'm fatphobic or anything, but I think it has to do with power dynamics. Like, I want the girl to be smaller. I want to be the stronger one, like to hold her, like to grab her, to hold her up, all of those things. It's not like I look for them, but I automatically get turned off and on. And when I think about it, I think it's that. It's about the power dynamics. It's about how they make me feel. And if a girl, and the same thing applies to girls. Girls like the guy to be a little bit bigger. Okay, so they want to feel safe around you. They want to have this security, and it's evolutionary. If you're a little bit bigger, they think that means more safety, more security, blah blah blah, right? And more strength. You might be stronger at 10%, but they think you're stronger at the bigger you are, right? So I chose 12% because at 8%, a lot of girls are bigger than me, okay? If a girl is at a normal weight, like for me to be sexually attracted to a girl when I'm at 8%, the girl has to be very, very skinny. So that's like the pool of girls gets reduced a ton. It becomes like 10% of all girls I can hook up with, right? But at 12%, I'm at 60%, I'm at 70%. So yeah, that's another benefit. I don't want to have, I want to have abundance in options. So the bigger, the better, right? Another reason I chose, I give 10 out of 10 for the 12% thing, because you are bigger and you can choose from a bigger pool of girls. Secondly, because there is no discrepancy between how you actually look and how you Instagramly look. 3, girls don't come to you just for your body, because you don't have a mind-numbing body. 4, what was the 4th one, right? You don't really attract girls that are weird, okay? So if you're at 8%, a lot of girls will come that are just gym rats. I'm done with gym rat girls. I don't want gym rat girls. If you want a normal girl, 12% is the absolute best. Okay. Now I'll give that's the gold medal goes to 12% for girls. Now, if you have to choose between the other ones, second in now the first and gold medal goes to 12%. The second silver medal goes to 15%. For all the reasons I mentioned before, it's much better to be 15% other than 8 or 10 for girls, for me personally, okay? And then I'll give 8 out of 10 for 10% and 7 out of 10 for 8%, which is the reason, like all of these reasons is why I chose 12%. So, me personally, I chose 12% to be able to hook up with a lot of girls and have the bigger pool of girls. I get decent respect from guys, but nothing that alienates them, and nothing that it's like I'm on the spotlight all the time. I look good with my clothes off without trying. I look good when I'm pumping and posing. I'm just 2 weeks or 4 weeks far from photo shoot ready. And I still look good with my clothes on, even if I wear like something that isn't like very, very fit, but something that's pretty snaggy. I look like I work out and I just have a nice body, and I really like that. And it's the difficulty is not crazy difficult. It's only 6.5 out of 10. So that's why me personally, I choose 12% to stay on year round. So that's the reasoning behind it, and now that I gave you all this data, I'm sure you can choose for yourself which one is the best for you as well. And after choosing that, then it's just a matter of going and getting it. Okay? So, I hope you really enjoyed this video, because I'm sure I did, and subscribe below, hit the notification bell, comment what you want to see next, And if you want to get coached by me, you can click the link below and fill out the form, and we'll talk on the phone, see if it's a great fit. Okay, that's the video for now. See you later.